Hey guys, it's Maxi, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the thought process on how to carry in ranked on Jett.
Spike down.
So the video that we're going to be breaking down today is a game where I go 25 and 15 on Lotus while playing Jett with a tracker score of 997. My pistol buy for this round is an updraft and a ghost. That's because my teammates and I are planning on fighting this entire A lane, and I want to be able to updraft on top of rubble and then fight from there. But since I'm stupid and morbidly obese, I literally trip over my own feet and dash straight into my teammate. Doesn't matter though, my race is sick and he ends up getting the pick. Since we took out the chamber, there's a good chance that he's going to be the lurker for the enemy team, so I instantly book it and rotate towards C. I try to book it to help my teammate as soon as possible, but we end up getting destroyed. And with that, we lose the pistol round. The next round I start towards B, and they end up hitting C, and we just all drop like flies. Going into this next round, this time I'm planning on fighting the C lane. Here's a quick little graph for a visual reference on how I like breaking down the map. If you're playing a Jett, you want to make sure you can float and contest every single one of these lanes. You gotta keep them guessing.
You one way C. I'm gonna try to fight it. I may go B, but I'll just open the door and fight from there.
I'll shoot the guy coming.
That one way C, yeah.
Yeah.
They're pushing A. Pushing A. I'm soaking A instead.
So they end up not going to C, and sometimes you just don't guess it right, but that's perfectly okay. As you can see, their only sentinel is a chamber, so that's really good for me. Considering I have Jett smokes, I can flank freely and just smoke off the trip once I find it. So I'm really confident that I can catch these guys with their pants down. Chamber died anyway, so I didn't even have to smoke it. It doesn't change the fact that flanking can only benefit my team. From backstabbing to completely containing them, the risk is always worth the reward. I honestly should have chilled here and kept them contained considering we are at a man advantage, but I was hoping the timing on the trip going down would have been in my favor for the flank.
Flash.
One enemy remaining.
There you are, shit.
Going into the next round, we're running the same plan. Since the enemy team don't know if I push B or C the last round, there's a good chance I might be able to catch them off guard by contesting C here. Here, I tuck behind the hump and wait for the Omen smoke to materialize before I hold the angle. Holding an Omen smoke one way always gives you a massive advantage, so I'm never afraid to try to hold it aggressively. I pop my dash, get really aggressive here to try to find a sneaky pick, until I hear the smoke finally going away, so I back up to hold an off angle.
I may walk this lane.
A pretty common strat that I've come across in my time of scrimming and stuff like that is just having a really delayed push. This type of strat focuses on catching people in mid rotations or trying to reposition. It catches my chamber off guard, but I'm ready for it.
You chamber cross? He's like right there.
I think they're DP, like close to.
Oh, they. One more.
After getting those two picks, I don't try to test my left too much, and then I try to get back to site because we have man advantage now. I hear Gecko pop his ultimate, so I play ring around the rosy with it, all while trying to keep my crosser glued to the smoke to hold for people trying to push and capitalize off it.
No charges left.
Chamber's gonna be
One
late.
enemy remaining.
Where'd it go, bro?
Going into the next round, going back to the graph, this round I want to contest the B lane. They're kind of on a save round this round, and so B is going to be the easiest orb to grab. A lot of times people use this round as a free orb gathering round, so I'm going to take that completely out of the picture.
Running up C a lot.
Party's over.
Yeah, can we reclear and then open door?
76. Sorry. Pushing waterfall.
Another one.
He's in that smoke tank. Let's see.
You got a rifle.
40.
There you are.
This is a really underrated off angle that I love using, so feel free to steal it. My Omen actually had a really good read right here, but I guess I was too hyper focused on trying to help my chamber who was getting ran down on C. After my Omen gets picked off from behind me, I instantly 180 dash to try to get the trade. Going into the next round, I still want to be able to float, so this time I'm getting an operator and I'm leaning towards the A lane. So I quickly rotate to try to help out my boys. So now I'm in a retaking scenario with the operator. When I'm retaking with the operator, I try not to get too aggressive. I pretty much commit to holding for overswings and overcommits.
On top of mount, on top of the box. On top of the box.
Night night.
One enemy.
Here's where I make an absolute grave error. Even though it's the right play to tap spike and maybe get at half to apply as much pressure on the enemy Jett as possible, since as the operator, I probably had the best chance of posting up to try to take this guy out. To be honest, we all played it completely sloppy. But I'm going to take most of the accountability because I had the operator. I probably should have barked at one of my teammates to tap the spike for me. And the other Jett hit some pretty nice shots, so kudos to him. Going into the next round, continuing the floating trend, I'm back on C, especially since they had success here the prior round. Since I have an operator, I calm to my chamber and ask him to shoot the Gecko flash to set me up, so big shout out to him.
One down.
There they are.
Grounded.
Two.
After getting those 2 picks, since I still have my dash, I reaggress to an aggressive angle, but this raise catches a peek on me when I'm walking backwards, so I repositioned. When playing the operator, you're really pushing your luck, constantly repeating the same angle that they're expecting. Eventually, you're going to be met with some good crosshair placement and you're going to walk straight into your death. Here, I get completely outplayed by the Gecko, trying to juke out his ultimate again. Doesn't matter though, because my raise absolutely clutches up for the 1v2.
Somebody out.
One enemy remaining.
Out of charges.
Nice.
There's an op down.
Absolutely insane shots from this guy, and I'm not only saying that just because he saved my op. That was a lie, I only like this guy because he gave me my op back. I'm very shallow, and I'm proud about it. Anyway, since last round we shut them down C, I'm right back to try to contest this A lane. I tuck in here because a common move from Jett is to dash across the rubble. So I'm tucking in to hide from the Jett so I can lure an enemy into dry peeking, but the enemy smoke saves her life. Instead of falling back, I dash straight into side to make sure I can back up my raise in case of a rush. The last thing I want to do is leave him to solo sight. Operator or not, I gotta do what I gotta do to help him hold it out.
Got him.
On fight.
Spike
Wait,
planted.
what?
One enemy remaining.
Where was he? What?
Backside.
Was it the raise? Rocketed in, so I guess
On my
it's
Yeah.
good timing this way.
Going into the next round, I'm right back on the B lane because I want to make sure my presence is felt everywhere. They end up rushing towards C, so I'm just really opening the door, just trying to probe for some free picks. I end up making my way out, taking my time to clear all angles, but I'm too slow and I'm too fat, and I end up losing the fight against the chamber. Luckily, mi copita el soba mexicano ends up clutching the round, so it doesn't even matter. Viva la raza, keep representing. Going into the next round, I'm right back towards the C lane because this enemy team seems to be infatuated with hitting it. This round though, I'm going to try to time in the Gecko flash. I'm going to wait for its life duration to end, and then I'm going to peek. Doesn't matter though because I'm fat and slow and end up whiffing on the raise. I try to reposition on a different aggressive off angle, and yet again I whiff.
Monster on the
Ooh,
loose.
I'm leaving it to catch me.
Help! Get out, get out, get out, get out, no! I was fully ready to start barking, growling, and shitting everywhere, but luckily my teammates closed it out. Lucky for them. Anyways, going into the next round, I'm right back towards the B lane because in my head, they're bound to hit B eventually, right?
Let's see.
Flash rotating.
Turns out I'm as wrong as I am fat, and they end up just hitting C again. So instead of being a maniac and opening door over and over to try to go for picks, I just rotate fast to try to help out my chambers on site.
One good judge.
This is the perfect example of a misplay by me. After getting that first pick, they're going to be fully aware of my position. So that means that they're going to have their crosshairs glued there in anticipation, and my dumbass goes out and swings straight right back into their awaiting arms. If I was smarter, I would have just taken the 5v4 man advantage and then just chilled in the smoke with my shorty, daring them to try to get that trade. The round boils down into a 1v1, and my Omen plays it great right here. He tosses the smoke and then taps a spike to force the enemy Omen to react. He reacts, and my Omen's right there to strike him down. The next round's pretty uneventful. I start C, open the door, take a fight, lose the fight, and then we lose a round. Now we're going into the attacking pistol round. When it comes to rushing C on Lotus, I like making sure I have an updraft in the smoke, and you'll see why in just a second. As we fully clear C line, I like running up, tossing the smoke at the site, and then updraft and dashing into it. This is my absolute favorite entry pathing when it comes to this side of the map. After that, my Omen and I find ourselves in a crossfire, so I'm going to be fully committed to try to sell and bait for him and taking as many fights as I can. Unfortunately, the enemy team just trade out a little bit better than us, and then we end up losing the round. The next round we try to do a B pop and just walk up together, but we get instantly shut down. Going into the next round, since we have a Sova that can clear out all C long, we managed to push the enemy chamber off. Their seat site hold isn't going to be that sturdy because chamber doesn't really have that much stopping power when it comes to holding down a site.
We're slowed. He's water. He's going water.
After completely pushing the chamber off the site, we communicate together and decide to fight CT as a unit. This is because the enemy team have a lot of really good retake utility. So if we can take him out before they can set up and use it to retake the site, we'll have an easier chance to win the round.
One more.
5 seconds, I'll smoke it.
Watch it
Two
raise.
waterfall, two waterfall.
CT.
One
Watch it
enemy
raise.
remaining.
Watch it last. CT.
So big brain powers prevail. We end up winning the round because of that one call alone. Going into the next round, since the enemy team is going to be really poor, we decide to take advantage of long range gunfights and we go to A. My plan of attack is just to dash towards rubble and then peek and fight from there.
We clear that.
Getting back here, but
I'm full. I'm
Your fault. No charges left.
I'm flashing.
two there.
So as you can see, my aim was really shoddy this game, but it doesn't matter because my teammates close it out for me. Going into the next round, we foolishly try to do the same thing, but we walk straight into a counter strat and we get completely mowed down. This Jett aces again, and that's why I find it pretty funny that I ended up completely out fragging him. That's why you gotta go brain over aim. I was on a completely different sensitivity, and I still managed to pop off. Going into the next round, we fully established that their C side is going to be their weakest link, but they were ready for that and ended up double stacking towards the C side. But my Jett heroics end up turning the round for us.
Native, we're native, we're native, we're native.
Yeah, I'm moving.
I'm gonna open.
Stay down.
Bro, 37.
Spike down. C.
Water. And CT.
Water on me. Go CT.
One CT,
Last
one in.
player standing.
In there.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Good round.
As I'm dashing into my own smoke, I'm mostly just focusing on creating space to give my teammates some leeway to follow me up. I want to make sure I'm not getting too overzealous here. I'm mostly just staying alive and holding for swings, until I hear my Raze toss a nade towards sight that flushes the enemy Raze into swinging into us. So since he's going to be out of position, I take that chance to try to swing into him and then I win that gunfight. From there, I trade my Raze, upgrade my gun, and then it's history.
Nice.
Going into the next round, I call for another C hit since it's going to be a weak link considering they're lacking a strong hold it down sentinel. Unless they move Omen over to try to anchor it, I'm fully confident in us overpowering the site with our double duelist comp.
Block it. Sight.
Backside right
Watching
here.
here.
Molly.
Man.
Satchel out.
After getting those 2 picks, we have full control of C site. My Raze wants to get control of the spawn again, but I shut it down because we have man advantage. We have a 4v3, so no matter what, we're going to be able to win the trade battle if everything goes in our favor. As long as we have good positioning and layering, it's our round to lose.
One CT, one water. Last CT and water. CT and water. Top, left side CT. Left side CT. Beautiful. Good job.
So that leads us into match point. Since the enemy team's economy is broken, this round I call for us to slow things down so we can pick up on the enemy team's hand. The last thing that we want to do is run into a stack. If they rush one side, we can rush the other. Call it a reactive default. The second my chamber gets a pick on the enemy Jett, that's our green light to move as a unit to take sight together.
Carry tree. I'm opening door.
Right here, Omen.
Fire. Here.
Keep it on site, Omen.
Stairs.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
I don't know where this guy's at. He's on.
After getting my get back on the enemy Gecko, we're left in a 3v1 and my chamber ends up diffing their chamber and we close out the game.
GG's.
And that is how you match a VP on Jett. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for not being the most active. I've been having a lot of issues with my recording software and I've also had the flu, so it's been tough. This is today's code word for a chance of free coaching.